joining us now on the Oakland County MegaCast. We want to go ahead and bring in Jennifer Graham. She's a first grade teacher over at Lakers Online. And Navya Paingol, she's a senior student co-chair for United We Walk. They're both with the West Bloomfield School District. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Ms. Graham, if we can go ahead and start with you. United We Walk, it's a big part of our community, but for those that maybe don't know what it is, do you want to fill us in?
Absolutely. United We Walk is an organization that has come together to continue the life, legacy, and message of Dr. King of serving the community in many ways. Believe it or not, our event in January will be the 27th annual event. So we've been around for a while, but it's an opportunity to gather the community together to help focus on serving others.
And I think serving others has become so important in the middle of this pandemic. So, Navia, do you want to jump in on this conversation as a high school student? What does this mean to you to be a part of this program?
It means a lot, especially during this pandemic. This is my first year being a student co-chair, and it really shows how even though we're virtual, we're still able to be together through United We Walk and have this great theme of everyone can be great because anyone can serve.
So, that's going to be the new theme for 2021.
Yep, that's our 2021 United We Walk theme. Yep.
So, Ms. Graham, do you want to talk about what it's taking to try to organize this in the middle of the pandemic?
Absolutely. I have to say, we begin planning the event that takes place in January throughout the entire year. So once the event ends in January, we actually begin focusing on how we can execute and implement the upcoming year's program. So it's a year-round focus. And I love that our committee encompasses not only students and staff members from the district, but we have community members, community leaders who also play a vital role in organizing the event that takes place every year.
So, when you were starting it in January and then March hit and everything started to shut down, were you still thinking that, oh, next year we'll be fine? And were you thinking in the back of your head that we can continue on as how we used to do it?
It's very interesting you should say that. When we met in the springtime, we actually identified two plans. We had a virtual plan, plus we had an in-person plan. By the time fall hit, we realized that we had to proceed with the virtual option to ensure that we could still do what we strive to do every year.
So, and do you want to talk a little about that a little bit more?
Absolutely. This year, we're going to have our event on Sunday, January 17th. It will be a virtual experience. This will be very different for all of us, but we are very excited about it. For the past few years, we have identified an organization that we would like to actually put our efforts in focusing to contribute. This year, we have adopted the Blessings in a Backpack organization as the entity that we would like to support. The Blessings in a Backpack organization does an amazing job of making sure the students in the Oakland County area do not go without food. They provide more than 6 meals per week to students, and normally they have a trivia night fundraising event. This year, due to the pandemic, they were not able to conduct that fundraising event. We felt that we wanted to make a difference and still help that entity by actually having a telethon. So our virtual event will be a telethon in which we showcase student talent. We're going to have speakers from the community as well as elected officials who come and share words to encourage others to help support this effort. We want to pay it forward and pay all of our attention, time, and focus on supporting the Blessings in a Backpack entity. With that being said, we would love to have the community's support. We are going to have those performances take place, have those speakers present, but we're also having some community components in which they can donate funds towards the effort to help support Blessings in a Backpack. We are going to have our actual information scrolling across our Facebook Live West Bloomfield School District Facebook page in which people can make contributions. But we're also having a component in which the community can contribute by actually participating in our walk. In years past, we've had a walk in which the community would come out and walk for a mile. We are now asking that if people do that, they are pledging or making that commitment to still walk. They can take a picture of themselves while walking and then put our special hashtag, which will be scrolling across the screen as well, for others to partake in our activities. So we're super excited.
So we've had to change a few things, but Navya, I'm sure that you were pretty instrumental in trying to help come up with this virtual plan, because I do think you as a senior in high school, but that younger generation, you guys get social media and how to utilize it.
Yeah, I was surprised when we decided that this was a virtual event, how fast the positive thinking came. We all thought of ways that we can adapt and how we can make this still a positive experience. And I feel that we're an advantage now. We're at an advantage as we can have speakers that are far away to just join in on our lives. So we we did come up with some great ideas, and we're excited to share them at our event in January.
So tell us a little bit more about the event. How are you pulling it off virtually? Because I do feel like so many organizations have had to go virtual. It can be hard to get your message out there.
We are going for a good cause, which also, like I said, fits as an advantage. Everyone wants to help, which is the great thing about our West Bloomfield community and other communities that neighbor us. So that is our main message here, to donate to Blessings in a Backpack and focus on that. So while also showcasing our community's talents. So that is also what we're surrounding our whole event around, trying to find ways to make our community, make all the facets of our community represented.
So with that, when you talk about the community's talents, what were some of the things that you were surprised to learn about?
Yeah, I did not know that we have this many talented people in our community. Honestly, the want to help and want to help us, and they're willing. They're willing to come out and do this for us, like dancing, poetry. These kind of things are not easy to do in front of people, but they want to do it for the great cause. So that's the good thing about West Bloomfield. We're always willing to help. Yeah.
Well, and do you think in a way it's made it easier for those people that may be stage fright shy, that being virtual kind of gives them that ease that they're able to perform, and maybe whereas before they wouldn't?
Definitely, definitely. So that's why I always say everything is for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Even though it's sad that we are virtual, it gives these people a chance to come out into the spotlight for once and do what they love and share it with their community.
Miss Graham, if we can bring you back into the conversation, do you want to talk a little bit about the fundraising and some of the challenges of trying to fundraise during the middle of a pandemic?
Yes, we had to be creative in how we would go about doing this activity, and we wanted to make it as inclusive as possible. Identifying a way in which the community could donate towards the Blessings in a Backpack was one we actually discussed thoroughly. And after deciding we can still have the community contribute by donating specifically to a link that will be identified the day of the event, we thought would be the best way to contribute in terms of donations. But we also were excited about having that social media component with the community participating by walking. We've grown accustomed to walking throughout this event, and we still wanted everyone to realize that they still could be a part of the event by walking and sharing their pictures, posting them online. So we're super excited.
So when we talk about social media, there are so many different platforms out there, and it's about trying to get your target audience. Facebook targets a different audience than Instagram. Instagram is different than Snapchat, which is different than TikTok. How are you guys trying to figure out and navigate which platform is the best, or are you utilizing all of them?
Through our district's website and their Facebook page, we're able to utilize the Facebook Live form the best, keeping in mind that people will have the opportunity to view the broadcast again at another time. We felt that would be the best method.
Before we let you both go, because this is such a great event and it does bring so many people together, and everyone loves it because it's in the middle of winter and it kind of forces you to get outdoors and still enjoy celebrating such an important person in our history, but also bringing us outdoors in the middle of the winter time where we can get cabin fever. So with that being virtual, do you think more people will participate, or are you expecting fewer?
We're anticipating having greater response because people can participate from the comfort of their home if they'd like, in addition to those who choose to go out and walk. We have the option and flexibility of having all of the community participate at a level that is comfortable for them.
So walking on a treadmill counts as well.
Absolutely.
Quickly before we let you go, Navya, do you want to? Could you just share with us a little bit about what you celebrating this day, what it means for you as being someone from the younger generation, and not really, you weren't alive when Dr. Martin Luther King was alive. So, what does this mean for you and some of the students and your friends of your age group?
Yeah, so I think it is all about continuing his legacy. And as the next generation, I think that's really important that not only us, but the generations that come after us are aware of what he did and how amazing his work was. So I think this event really shows not only to continue, but to greater his message. So that's
And with that though, you're so young, and you and your fellow students, you guys have struggled so much during this pandemic. Nothing has been normal for you. You've lost out on so many experiences. How do you stay positive during this to the degree that you want to serve others?
being around people who want to do the same big difference, makes a big difference. Knowing that there's other people like yourself who wants to do good in the world, and just being inspired by them, by your peers and by your elders, it really keeps us going.
Well, it's a great event. We look forward to it every year in the community, but virtual could be the way to go because actually you can walk on your treadmill in your, lounge wear and be perfectly okay.
Absolutely.
So, Ms. Graham, quickly give us a rundown again. When is it, and how can people log on?
All right. The event will take place on Sunday, January 17th. Please view this event on Facebook Live, our school district's Facebook page. If you join us on Facebook Live, we will be providing tons of information in early January that will give all the details, but please join us on that page. Once you join us there, you will be in store for an amazing event.
We're so lucky. One thing about this crisis and this pandemic is about finding things to be grateful for. And we are so grateful for the technology because we can go through this and we can continue to share things such as you and the show, but also the live events through Facebook, which allows us to not only continue to try to find ways to connect with one another, but also ways to serve the community as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we thank the both of you for being with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast.
Thank you for having me.
Again, the United We Walk event going virtual this year is not going away. So check out the West Bloomfield School District's Facebook page for more information. Thank you again to the both of you, and happy holidays.
Thank you. Same to you.
Bye.
Thank you.